Welcome back to Mona's Take. I am your host, monadrose, and we are here to talk about everything reality TV. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything I have coming up. Tonight's video is going to be on the live feeds, BB House. It's going to be probably the last couple of days. There hasn't been a whole lot going on, but I was able to get a good amount by not doing a video yesterday and combining them. So some of this you may have already heard, but I will give you my take on it as well. Stick around. People are acting on a whole nother level on that. So can't wait to see that karma train coming through. Choo-choo. Mood of the day. Really? You gotta give us more credit than that. Some people, buckle up, buttercup. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Alright, the feeds came back on in the BB House Thursday night after the episode. And Turner had won the first portion of the HOH competition. We got to see it on last night's episode towards the end. It was just starting. They were clutching to a big hot dog that was going around and around and moving back and forth and all that. And Turner was the one that held on for the longest. They had their big dinner, steak, lobster, the whole 9 yards, champagne. And then Monty gets called to the DR. And Taylor talks with Turner about jury votes. They're looking at the memory wall. And Taylor said, well, if you go against me, you have more votes. They both talked about how beloved Monty was by the jury and which jury votes he would get versus which jury votes they would get. And honestly, it would be amazing if Turner won and took Taylor. Don't see that happening, but Turner tells Taylor that he doesn't think she gives herself enough credit, that she's iconic. They talk about once they get out who they're going to Google to see what America thought of them. And Kyle, Michael, Brittany, and Amira were the names that were most talked about. Turner asked Taylor about all the vetoes, and she just starts helping him. And I'm like, girl, why would you be divulging that information if he doesn't know it already? And Turner started talking about how Brittany ruined his friendship with Alyssa. Oh, man. He's the one that voted her out. He's the one that lied to her. Brittany just took advantage of the situation. If he wants to blame anybody, he can blame himself. Because Brittany could not have done that if he'd have just been honest with Alyssa. But I also found out that Brittany was the one that convinced Turner to put in his good mind messages why he voted her out, so that she knew for a fact that it was him that voted her out and not Brittany. That I didn't know. Yet again, Turner was manipulated by someone else. I love Turner. I love his personality. However, his gameplay sucks. He has never had an original idea. Everything that he's done in this game has been based off of someone else telling him what to do or getting in his head and changing his mind. So they had the part 2 competition, which was Monty against Taylor. And it took a long time before it was confirmed who actually won that comp, but you could tell by the way that Monty was acting versus the way that Taylor was acting that Monty won the comp. As soon as she gets out of the diary room, she goes right to bed. Monty is in the dining room looking at the memory wall. He looks like he's counting votes. Turner is zonked out in his bed. And Monty mumbles, I'm sorry if I... And then I couldn't make out the rest of what he said. But he was looking towards the bedrooms, which Taylor and Turner were both in bed. So I'm not sure which one he was apologizing to. And as I'm sitting there watching him, I had this thought that he could likely pick Taylor to go to the final two and try to use the same argument that he used on her in the bathtub as to why she shouldn't win this game. Because most of the jury going out did not like Taylor. So I think that he could very easily think that he can beat her by using that kind of strategy. I hope not. Because I really don't know that I can take having her beat down one more time during this season. But he was in very deep thought for a long time, which means he's considering all of his options. But he's confident that he can beat Turner in the final comp. Taylor finally gets up out of bed and stirs in the kitchen. And by this time, Monty's laying down. And Turner's still in bed. And she's sitting at the kitchen island. And she's mumbling to herself. And she says, "Stop it. Don't cry yet. Not yet." So then she's talking to the cameras. And she says, "I don't know if the feeds are on, but... so y'all can probably tell by my demeanor I did not win part 2 of the HOH comp." And she said that she only lost by 20 seconds. I think it's very evident that the only way I could win this game is if I took myself to those final 2 chairs. She says, because Monty and Turner have the strongest resume this entire game. And the jury is going to respect their resumes much more than anything. She says, so I'm so embarrassed because it was so important for me not to be taken to the end. And now I have to sit and watch 2 guys battle it out while I do nothing. And then she goes back to bed. Turner and Monty are up. And Turner says to Monty, "Not to speak for both of us, but no matter what, we're going to be in the final 2. And Monty says, "Yeah, man." And Turner says, "That's effing fire." And Monty said, "That's got to feel crazy." Monty said, "It's something I don't know. It just makes sense." And Turner said, "I think so too, bro. I'm so effing excited." And Monty says, "And just looking at the season, looking at how we both played and everything, like that, like it just makes sense." I said we both been playing probably like great, strong competitors. You know what I mean? I hope he does, because I don't know half of what he means. Oh, speaking in full sentences is so hard for this cast. We both had some sort of social game. We weren't the ones getting put on the block all the time. It just makes sense. And Turner said, "I know we talked after the first comp and nothing has changed." And Monty said, "For sure, for sure." They talk about all the construction that's going on outside and wonder if the third comp will be outside. I'm almost guessing that that's might be where they hold the after party, because there has been still a lot of construction, unless they're taking down the backyard. That's the only other reason that there would be that much construction going on back there, because they normally have it inside the house, that last comp, because it's normally them sitting behind a desk answering questions about the days. Maybe they'll surprise us. Maybe it'll be different this year. Turner says, "Taylor seemed a little upset." And Monty says, "Yeah, I can tell. I mean, mostly because I think she's probably knows if Brittany were here, there would still be a fighting chance. But whereas now it's like she has no control over her destiny. And Turner said, I mean, on my end, she knows I'm not taking her. I don't know what she thinks about you because y'all are closer. And Monty said, yeah, we haven't had those types of conversations because mostly what I talked to her about last week was like, okay, Brittany doesn't deserve to be in the round 3. And top it all, I was like, I'm pretty sure the two of you would pick each other. But I didn't really say that to her, but like I was thinking it in my head, he said. Oh, he's like, I'm pretty sure. So it puts so much pressure on each comp. Like today, granted, so good that won, but I still didn't feel like a horrible amount of pressure, you know? Ooh. Yeah, it's killing me. I'm like not even a grammar or English teacher by no means, but these conversations are really getting to me. He says, like, I know you're going to be, like, there, and even if Taylor had beat me, I would hope that you would pick me, but I don't know. I was just... And then Turner interrupts and he says, I think Taylor would pick you, and I would definitely pick you. And Monty says, yeah, I'd much rather be in the driver's seat, though. And Turner said, well, this ought to be fun tomorrow. I'm going to head to bed. So I wonder if he thought that they were going to have the competition today, that he didn't realize that the competition's going to be live on Thursday night. So after all this conversation, them going back and forth, Monty remembers the tiki room. And he looks upstairs and he's like, I'll be right back. And he's pointing upstairs. Runs all the way up the stairs to make sure that Taylor is not in the tiki room laying down, because then she would have overheard their whole conversation. That right there should have made a light bulb go off in Turner's head, but it didn't. Monty and Taylor talk about votes, and that Taylor thinks she would have a better chance against Monty. Monty tells Turner that even if he duped him, they would still be homies afterwards. And Turner said, I'd be butthurt, I ain't gonna lie. I might be mad for a while. Basically, he used different verbiage, but basically he said, you know, you might be able to forgive me, but I'm not going to be able to forgive you if you do me. Turner tells Monty that he got his pitch from Taylor, and Monty told him that that he's not surprised that she needs to be doing exactly that. And Monty tells Turner that he hasn't had any direct conversations with Taylor about taking her to the final. He says Taylor will be all right. It is what it is. So he's still not being completely honest with either one of them. And he keeps saying that he doesn't want to tell Turner that he'll take him to the end because he doesn't want to lie to him if he's not going to do that. But yet he's lying to Taylor and Turner both when they're asking him about different conversations. So I don't understand how he gets off with this, oh, I can't lie and I'm not going to lie. Because he's been doing it rather well. And I'm starting to lean more towards the fact that Monty may take Taylor with him to the final two if he wins. I was listening to Derek and Cody from the Winner's Circle, and like Derek said, if he had not have put it on camera that he was going to take her and talked about the whole, that if he was going to lose to anybody that he wanted to be her, because he felt like he would be helping history being made with the first black female winner of Big Brother. And Derek's like, he has to know the optics of that. Like, if he doesn't take Taylor, he's going to be toast when he comes out of that house. People are going to be up in arms. And I'm starting to lean towards that because he has not come right out and told Turner since right after Dyer Fest that he would definitely take him to the end. He alludes to it, but the words never come out of his mouth. There's also on Twitter, there's speculation that Monty may throw the comp so that Turner wins it because he knows Turner will take him. But I honestly don't see that happening. Nobody in their right mind would throw that final HOH because you have control of your own destiny. So I don't buy that. So they had a lockdown scheduled for today in the bathroom, of all places. And I don't know why the bathroom, but that's where they were. Both of them, Turner and Monty, made several statements about how weird it was. And I don't think out of all the years of watching Big Brother I've ever seen a lockdown in the bathroom. They get done with that. Taylor told Monty that she talked to Turner and told him, look, I know you're not actually considering taking me to the final two. She said she told him that she would appreciate it if he would consider it, but she knows it's not going to happen. She said she told him it's evident the way that he's been talking about Kyle and Xavier thing for the past few weeks now. She said, I get the hint. She said he didn't say much. He kind of just laughed and smiled. She said, but it's what I expected. But I'm not going to sit here and go out without doing anything. Monty said, yeah, as you should. And I think that's just in his nature. But he's just very loyal and straightforward dude. For the most part. So, and Taylor said, as I expected. And Monty said, it's definitely going to be hard making that speech and trying to say the right words to try and explain, the thought process, That's why I was like, I really didn't sleep much because I was thinking about my speech, thinking about what I would say to him, and just sort of ran through all that. Also, I can tell he's been wanting me to say the words verbatim. And I've been like, yeah, of course, we're all good, everything's good. But just haven't said the words because it's hard for me. And he paused, and Taylor said, that's just not who you are. And he said, yeah, that's just not what I do. He said, that's just not in my nature. So, yeah. But we will see. What I got to focus on is winning. The damn thing. Which I feel pretty, I feel like I've studied as much as I possibly can. And Taylor said, I asked him if he had studied at all. And you'll be fine. And Monty said, we were actually talking about school and stuff. And he said, man, I used to cheat on everything. And I'm like, man, I would never do anything like that. And he said, Turner said that he just did what he had to do to get by. And he said, it's kind of like that stuff I've been telling you about him. And Monty said, I'm trying to get to know him and learn more about him. And I know what he would do well in and what he wouldn't. So anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to do what I can do to get there. And then take it from there and make that decision. The more I talk about it, the more I'm like, okay. This isn't like how and he's talking about Turner and his relationship, is going to be impacted. But it's how my life, I got to do what I feel is best for me. So I think eventually We need to all practice our speeches. And I was just thinking about that when I was sitting down out in the living room. Then he says he's going to start packing because Big Brother told him that they had to be packed up by tonight. And so it begins. The last night in the BB24 house. My last taped video for BB24. I will be live tomorrow night at 10:15 as soon as the finale is over. I will also be joined by my co-host, Jay, for the first time on a live, so I hope you guys will enjoy that. Taylor's sitting in the bathroom, and she's talking to the cameras, and she says, America, I want this win so badly, but I'm so scared that this jury is not going to see my journey to the final 2 seat as valuable because I didn't win one of those 2 seats. I didn't win one of the last 2 HOH comps. This season is so much bigger than Michael being a comp beast. It's so much bigger than the people who were evicted when they were evicted. This season could mean something if I win. I just hope the jury will be convinced of that. If not, I would have walked through hell for nothing. She says, I've won 2 comps, 2 HOHs. How do I convince this jury that my story is bigger than people's evictions? How do I convince them that my story is bigger than someone else's resume? And then the feed's cut to Turner and Monty. And Turner's asked Monty if he could mention their final 2 in one of his speeches. And Monty said he's fine with that. That even if it's new information, that it'll make sense to Taylor. Turner's saying, I want to say, you know, we were in the Oasis together. We started the Pound together. We formed the Leftovers together. We've been working in a final 2 for the last, since Dyer Fest, or since the whole Kyle thing. And I want to say all that, but I don't want to make her feel worse. And Monty's like, no, even if it's new information, she'll understand. And Turner says, anyway, that's where my thought process was. And Monty said, that's mine too, and it would make it clear. And Turner said, cool, I feel really good right now. I'm just so excited. It's just crazy that most people will make deals early on and they never effing work out. So holy shit, I'm just like pumped. And Monty says, we're on a solid trajectory right now, bro. And Turner said, unless one of us does the worst effing thing possible, that just like I was thinking when I was sitting on the block. And Monty said, no, it's been too long of a time for us to get this far. And Turner said, that's what I was thinking. And then a little bit later, Taylor and Turner are in the kitchen, and Turner starts asking her all kinds of questions about the vetoes and days and eviction votes and how many times somebody played in vetoes, how many times someone played in HOHs. And she's just, every once in a while she'd say, you tell me, you take a guess. And then she would tell him if he was right or wrong. But most of the time she was just giving him the information. And I'm thinking, Taylor, if you know he's not going to take you if he wins, why in the hell would you help him study? That makes no sense. That's just how good a person Taylor is. She's too nice. She does not think anything by it. She's helping out a friend. But I'm like screaming at my computer screen. According to Hamster Watch on Twitter, they had the round table tonight. And evidently it got pretty heated. He said that Jasmine and Indy were not happy with Brittany. And that Michael took up for Brittany and actually defined the word floater and said that Brittany was not that. So once again, Jasmine and Indy see Brittany as an easy target, just like they did in the house, which tells me that they haven't learned anything. They're still in the freaking Mean Girls Club. But supposedly Michael took up for Brittany. And then Sharon Tharp from Us Magazine said that she commented on it and said that her source told her the same thing, that evidently Indy and Brittany got into it. Which makes sense, because like I said, Brittany was always an easy target for those two, just like Taylor was. Because you know why? Because neither Taylor nor Brittany would pop off to them. Neither Taylor nor Brittany would be mean to them right back. They weren't confrontational people. So therefore, what do bullies do? Those are the people that they pick on. It's the people who aren't confrontational, the people who aren't going to stand up for themselves. It's a game. She's out of the house now. She's a juror just like they are. But you know what? They're pissed off about this whole leftovers thing. Everybody that's not in the leftovers is pissed off about the leftovers. But who are they going to take that out on? They're going to take that out on Brittany, and they're going to take that out on Taylor. Maybe not so much Taylor, since I think that they kind of got a heads up by all the interview questions that Taylor was pretty much loved by America. So they kind of backed off of that a little bit. But they're still on the Brittany hate train. And so I think today we've probably gotten all the game talk that we're going to get. The house guests are in their second lockdown of the day when I started filming this. This time in the bubble room. So I guess they're just going to move them around from room to room to room until they get everything done that they need to get done. For the most part, I think they're all 3-packed. The feeds keep cutting, even though they're in the bubble room, they left them on. In the bathroom, they cut them off, but when they put them in the bubble room, for some reason, they left them on. And they're having fun with whoever's behind the button, because they're asking them to play certain things, and they're talking to the cameras, and Big Brother's answering them back with a thank you. They asked for the clip of "you don't have to eat any more peanut butter sandwiches," and instead of that, they came back with something about "you're one day closer to the $750,000 grand prize," or something to that effect. Saying thank you and you're welcome and doing different things for them. And I think they even said that the house guest said that they think that whoever's back there is having fun with it because everybody else is in rehearsal. And he's not supervised. But they start talking about a lot of other stuff that they're not supposed to be talking about, so the feeds are cutting on and off, and it's just annoying at this point. So I think basically we've pretty much got all the game talk we're going to get out of them. My final thoughts. I am about 80% sure that Monty will take Taylor to the final 2, because he still hasn't said those words to Turner. And he keeps saying he doesn't lie, but like I said a while ago, we all know that's false. But I think he's made a big deal about making history, and if he cuts Taylor on the 3rd spot, I think he's going to see a lot of backlash. So we'll see. But he is most confident that he is going to beat Turner tomorrow. He thinks that Turner is not as intelligent as him, and he thinks it's going to be an easy win for him. But I think people are going to be surprised that Turner knows more than what anybody's giving him credit for. So we'll see. He may surprise us. He may come out and win that last HOH comp. And then he's going to take money. Unless, I was going to say Taylor could get to him and tell him that Monty had a final 2 with her too. But I don't think it'll matter. I think he's still going to take Monty. Alright, so remember tomorrow night's show? Live eviction show. Right after the episode. 10:15 Central Time. I hope to see you all there. And I'm kind of sad that this is running down. This will be my second to the last video. Tomorrow's night's live will be the last for Big Brother 24. And I have to say, as crazy and chaotic as it's been, and as much as it's pissed me off from time to time, I am going to miss it. That's all I've done for 3 months are the live feeds. So I don't know what I'm going to do with my time. Oh yeah, I'm going to heal from surgery. Damn. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys tonight. I'll see you tomorrow night. I look forward to it. And as always, much love.